My client got approved for a 50K business credit card with Citizens Bank with a soft pull. There aren't too many of these left. But also, I've had clients get approved for the business line of credit with Citizens Bank and their other products. So on this video, I've done other videos on Citizens, but on this video, this is going to be a complete guide on how to get business funding from Citizens Bank, from all their products and all of the key data points that you need to know. So you need to stick all the way through the end to make sure you get all of the information on how to get business funding from Citizens Bank in 2025 and beyond with no docs. So let's go. But make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you want these funded videos to continue to come your way. So guys, first things first, Citizens Bank, get familiar with the logo here, okay? Make sure that it is this Citizens Bank because look guys, you have to be in these 14 states or Washington, D.C. in order to get approved with funding from Citizens Bank. They do not do foreign entities, so don't even try it, okay? Now, the following states, if your business is located, meaning when you incorporated the business, it's in this state, you can get funding from Citizens Bank. If it's not, you cannot. It's that simple. Still good to know just in case anything changes with your location or, you file an LLC in a different state once you actually move your home address there. But if you don't hear your state there, it's over with, okay? Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, which Florida is not really a thing. There is a location there, but you cannot apply and get approved for funding there in Florida, unfortunately. So Connecticut, Delaware, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York, Ohio as well, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island. I had a client get approved for 50K and he's in Rhode Island, Vermont, Virginia, Washington, D.C. And a Washington, D.C. client got 50K. If you did not see your say here, it's over with, okay? I know I focus on that a little bit, but I just get so much feedback about that. I just had to let you know. Now, Citizens Bank, another regional bank that you definitely have to be aware of because they will give out a large amount of funding depending on the relationship and how you set everything up, okay? Now, they are lenient with approvals, especially at no docs, but that's only if you do things correctly. And we'll talk about that here shortly. Now, personal credit card requirements, typically going to be 700 plus. I will say this. Citizens is not a bank that's going to be like a 720, a 700, 690, you still get approval for the most part. But we have seen that. I've seen a 731 get approved for 35K with Citizens Bank. So it's definitely something to be aware of. I still want to come in with my absolute best shot. But there, so what I'm saying is, this is what I'm getting at. I've seen it's kind of in the middle of the pack. It's not that they're super lenient, like say a Chase Bank would be, or said the same thing with Truist Bank, American Express. But they're also not on the higher end where your profile has to be perfect and you have to have all this going on, and the denial rate is high. So the approval rate is pretty high for Citizens, but that doesn't mean that you want to go in just however, anyways, right? So utilization going to be the best with single digits, up to 20% is acceptable. Credit history at least 1 year, but you don't want to go in the minimum. Really, 3 to 5+ years is best. And I am referring to actually having a personal credit card for that length of time, not just like a student loan or auto loan or something like that. Hard pull, actually, it should say no here. Hard pull, no. Primarily from Equifax that they'll pull or Experian, but it can vary. I've never seen TransUnion. I've never seen it. But primarily it's going to be a soft pull. So that's so cool to get access to a 35 to 50K approval on the business credit card side or up to a 50K approval on the business line of credit with no hard pull. It is possible, okay? Now, personal guarantee, oh, that's where it messed up at. So personal guarantee is different from a hard pull. A lot of you guys put that together. If you get a soft pull, it does not mean that you're not personally guaranteed to it. It just means that you didn't get an inquiry for it. But that does not mean you don't have a PG for it. It is a personal guaranteed account, but a hard pull, no. So it's cool. Not seeing a hard pull from Citizens like pretty much ever is pretty cool, man. Getting access to this amount of funding, and there aren't too many left. I'm telling you, there used to be a lot more no hard pull programs out here with the business credit cards, lines of credit. I'm telling you, it's going away. And a lot of you guys, you think I'm just saying it. You think I'm trying to get you to hurry up and sign up with me, but whatever. You could just say, you could just think I'm saying that if you want to. You go look up, and a lot of these things are going to be going for good. So if you're looking for funding now, this is one of the best times to do so. Anyways, now business requirements. So even though they do not, Citizens Bank, they do not require a specific business credit score like a lot of the banks with the SBSS score and things of that nature. Let me tell you something. Citizens, they like to see an online presence. What does that mean? An online presence, meaning your business is Googleable, right? So if you look up your business, you have a business Google page, you have a correct business address, a business phone number, you're out on certain articles, you have a Manta account, you have a business Facebook page, a business Instagram page. Again, once you Google your business, you will find information on it. Even with the BBB, like you may see back there with the BBB, things like that is going to help out your business tremendously when it comes to actually applying to get approved, because the business bankers, they will look it up. I've had bankers tell me, hey, I saw this business or I did not see this business. Is this something that you guys could work on before we move forward? So it is very important. Every bank has these 1 to 3 really small nuances that makes all the difference. And Citizens Bank is going to be that. So if you need help with that, you don't know what that means as far as setting up your business correctly, and you don't even want to look it up or think about it anymore. So if you want to set up a call with me or my team, just make sure you use the link down in the description box below to set up a call with me and my team, and we will go over all of this information on our call and see if we will be a good fit. But anyways, business checking. Business checking with Citizens, definitely not required. It's one of those things, like, a lot of you guys ask me, do I need a business checking account for funding? How many business checking accounts? It depends on the bank, guys. It's always the answer. Always going to be answered. Always depends on the bank. We have gone through and gotten funding without a business checking account with Citizens. We've also used that and leveraged that to build a relationship in order to get approved with funding for Citizens. But is it required? No. Is it recommended? Yes. This is not one that it doesn't matter. It does matter, but you can get approved without it. So now let's talk about the business checking accounts. Now, the recommended business checking account is going to be clearly better business checking account because it has a $0 monthly maintenance fee, which is always really good. Most banks, they do have a certain amount of money that you have to put in there, but without the monthly fee, but this one doesn't. So that makes it pretty cool. But that doesn't mean that you don't want to put money in here like you would someone else that requires more at the same time. But just know if you don't have, 5K or so in here, you won't get hit with a monthly fee. I'm always against the monthly fees, guys, because you want to avoid losing money for no reason, even if it's an insignificant amount like $5, $20. That is $5 or $20 that could be going to your business. I don't even care if you have 100K already. It's still money that you could be using. So just keep that in mind. Next is going to be the business advisor checking. But look, guys, unless you already have an established relationship with Citizens Bank, just go for the clearly better business checking account. Okay, don't overthink this one. You can't go for the business advisor checking account and the analysis business checking account, but the other ones have, like this one has a minimum of open of $100. Guys, just keep it simple. I go over this, and you may be thinking, well, you say you're gonna go over everything, over every product. I'm giving you the information that's also relevant to you too as well, right? So that's a big part of this, because a lot of you guys don't know which business checking accounts to open or whatever. But just keep it simple. Just go for the clearly better business checking account unless you already have a seasoned account with Citizens. Now let's talk about the business credit card. Dun 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 dun. So here is some relevant information for you guys. I try to trickle this in and make sure the people that are watching the videos all the way through, they're getting the most value. So for Citizens, can you double dip? Especially since you're not getting a hard pull, right? Can you double dip? No and yes. Double dip is normally referring to if can you apply for 2 of their business credit cards with the same inquiry. But since you're not getting an inquiry, I'm more talking about can you get both of their cards at the same time? No and yes. No for 1 LLC, but yes for 2 LLC. So if you have more than 1 LLC, which I would not open a new LLC for this, but if you already have 2 LLCs that are eligible for funding with Citizens Bank, you can apply for both of those businesses at the same time for the business credit cards and apply and get approved at the same time. So it's pretty cool. Now, the Everyday Points Business MasterCard is going to be 0% for 6 months, which is cool. They have one for 12 months. That's the next one. So this one is cool. I would go for the other one first, unless I was doing like the double dip thing. But it does have a nice rewards bonus. So $325 if you spend 5K in 90 days. Get the $325. I'm telling you, it's going to be worth it. Now, typical limits is going to be 35 to 50K. That's all we typically get with Citizens Bank. But that's because we use the relationship managers. You can see, I have seen online approval of 15K, 20K, 23K. I remember a client that we first came in, he had like a 23K approval. But with us, we typically get 35 to 50K. Now, the Business Platinum MasterCard, if you're looking to hold a balance a lot longer, this is the card that I would go for, and it's 0% interest for 12 months. It doesn't have the nice rewards bonus, but that's kind of the give or take you have to do with these 0% cards. Sometimes, depending on the bank, they don't have the best rewards points. That's how I like Chase. Their 0% cards still do have a really amazing reward system too. But typically, yeah, you're going to want to just stick to this if you're looking to hold the balance over a little bit longer. 0% for 12 months, but it's only on purchases, guys. No balance transfer option here, just to let you know. No annual fee too, which is typical for 0% cards. I don't think there is a 0% card that has an annual fee. Let me know if I'm wrong there. Fact check me, but I don't think one exists. So that's why I don't normally say that annual fee when I'm giving the information. I'm just trying to stick to the relevant information, but just throwing it out there. Again, typical limits 35 to 50K with a relationship manager. Now, you can apply online for these cards, but you have to know the back way on the website. You have to go through so if you go to just the business credit card, it'll say contact us, and you won't be able to apply directly online. But if you go through and you go to the business line of credit information there, you click through, there's a certain way you can kind of go to the back door to go online. But if you have access to a relationship manager, then I would definitely prefer to do that, especially because you can apply and actually know that you're dealing with an underwriter and a banker that has your best interest that's trying to get you a higher limit. Now, the business line of credit. One thing, speaking of annual fees, this has an annual fee of $150 of anything less than 100K, and then $250 for 100K or higher. I'm not a fan of that, but look, you get access to a lot of money here, so it's not that big of a deal. But I really don't like when they have these annual fees on lines of credit. But it's cool. Look, it says here get a business on a line of credit up to 250K in 2 to 3 days. So the turnaround time can be pretty good on these lines of credit. As you see, normally it would say contact us on the website. So look, it's the same thing I just said about the card. Can you apply online? Yeah, but a lot of times you're going to want to link up with a relationship manager for these. And yes, you can get approved for no docs, but you're going to have to establish a relationship for at least 6 months with Citizens Bank before you can apply for this. And it would be advised to actually have the merchant account that Citizens Bank requires. I mean, excuse me, not requires, that they have available in order to show the best relationship there or show cash coming in and out of your business checking account to show activity. So this is the one I would go after, just the standard business line of credit. And then you have the Vantage Link business line of credit. This is going to be like the step up. It goes up to 250K. So that's the name of it, the Vantage Link business line of credit. Interest is only charged on funds used. By the way, I told you about the annual fee. I told you how to get it. Establish a business checking account. Also, you want to establish the merchant account as well. Get that, cycle some money in and out, and then you'll be on your way to get access to this line of credit. And you can get up to 50K no docs based on the applicant. Okay. Another good option is going to be the business loan, the term loans. Full transparency here, I haven't sent a client in for the line of credit up to this point. So I'm also going by this information. So by the way, when I get access to a new relationship manager, we always talk like over the phone, if not meet in person, and we talk about the different products that they have. So I've been told about this product, but we just haven't went in for it yet. But I know it goes up to 250K, and it's going to be similar to the line of credit. So the only difference here is that it's going to be way less likely that you get approved for this with no docs. But hey, if you had the documentation, you got the bank statements, you got the tax returns, then this will be a great option for you, obviously. Now, you also have, of course, a hybrid flex loan, aka you have the secured loan option too as well, which this one is saying hybrid because you can get approved after $1 million. You have a draw period up to 12 months before they turn into a fixed rate term loan. So it's like a line of credit and a term loan at the same time. There's no annual fee for this one, but again, you will have to actually use assets like equipment, vehicles, machinery. Well, this is for purchasing assets. So if you're looking to purchase assets as far as equipment, vehicles, or machinery, then you could also use this too as well. Now here is no annual fee, which is really good, and it goes up to $1 million. But again, it's a flex because it changes from a business line of credit to a term loan. So pretty cool stuff. Now this one is interesting, a business mortgage loan. So if you're on the real estate side and you want to have a mortgage loan on the business side, just know that Citizens got you covered. This is not going to apply to a lot of you guys that are watching this. Trust me, I know, like, my quote unquote audience. I don't even like saying that word, it sounds weird, but just the people that watch these videos, I know what you guys are typically looking for. And a big business mortgage loan is not that, but it's there for the small amount of people this applies to. And then, just as most banks do, you'll see this reoccurring. They do have an SBA program, of course, because you have to go through an actual bank to get access to SBA funding, up to $5 million on the SBA 7A, of course. 504 loan, and then of course you have also the express loans too. With the SBA, it's going to be heavy documentation no matter which bank that you go through to go to them. So just keep that in mind. Now I'm finna drop some sauce on you. So I've said this on another video, but a lot of times you guys are so concerned with documentation. Sometimes the documentation that you provide, depending on the banker that you're working with and the underwriter, you can take documentation, like technical documentation, if it's bank statements, even if you're not making the most. We've seen bank statements that only got, it's like 5K a month that still get a 35 and 50K approval. So just keep in mind, sometimes documentation, if you get asked for, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it really depends, right? Depends on who you're working with and things of that nature. Like it amazes me. Uh, um, a lot of times I post these approvals and I talk about all these approvals, and since you don't know the story behind it, a lot of you guys think, oh, I can do the same thing. You think it's a lot easier than what it is. But a lot of you guys know too, because I've talked to hundreds of people at this point about business funding. But a lot of you guys understand that, hey, it's not just about applying, right? It's all the information within it. And a lot of times when we get approvals, there's a lot of work that went into it that you really just don't understand. But anyways, I'm saying all that to say that depending on who you work with, even if you get asked for docs, Citizens is known to still do approvals. So just keep that in mind. I'm giving you some really insider information. I don't know, drop a like if you care. If not, it's all good too. But I'm telling you, it's I just said something. It's probably went over a lot of y'all heads, but I dropped something pretty heavy on you right there. Now, Citizens. Now, I did talk about profiles earlier. They don't like negative items, so you got like late payments and collections. They pretty much don't like that, so it is something to keep in mind. And I did tell you about the double dipping with the two businesses too as well. So that alone for this video makes this video very valuable for you, because if you understand that, it can drastically increase your approval amount that you get approval for, therefore growing your business. So just keep that in mind. Now, as far as applying, if I was applying for business funding with Citizens Bank, one of the first things I would do is work on my personal profile and optimize it. Look, guys, a lot of you guys don't understand this. Your credit profile does not have to be perfect at all times, right? Especially if you have a way to kind of, get things down. I did a video not too long ago about how I was at 18% utilization on the personal side, because with us moving and buying furniture and all that stuff, furnishing our house, my utilization is normally like single digits, like 5%, 3% or something like that. But at that time, it's pretty high well, for me, 18% is like really high. And then let's pay it down. So I'm going to make an update video about that too, as far as me paying down the card that I mentioned on that video. But that's how it is sometimes. Like sometimes things are not the absolute best, but you can't optimize, right? But you want to optimize, at least I should say, before you actually apply. Even if you're not the perfect utilization and everything, it's okay. It's time to optimize before you apply though. So that's what I would do. So the key thing that I said earlier, making your business Googleable, I would make sure that I had an online presence before I applied with funding with Citizens Bank. It is very important. So there's different ways to get listed, like getting listed with the 401, get listed with other websites. So that way Citizens Bank can actually see you before you apply. So outside of the business, the personal things that I mentioned, also make sure that your business is Googleable before you apply. And then you can go for the business credit cards and then possibly the business line of credit too as well, if that's your vibe. Now, I've gone through and given you the relevant information that you need to know that will really cut out a lot of the fat. But speaking of that, if this is not cutting out enough fat for you and you still have questions, you really want somebody to walk with you and make sure we're doing this right, you're getting access to the most amount of funding, all you have to do is schedule a call using a link down in the description with me and my team. We will go over and check and see what your personal credit profile is looking like, how your business is structured, what banks you have available, how much money can you get access to. So that way you have all the funding you'll ever need for your business to either start, grow, or scale your company. And you're not doing it alone. You're not out here just winging it. You're doing it the right way from someone that has funded over $10 million in funding. So if you like this video, I am sure you'll like this video on the screen too as well.